Hey everyone, hope all are well out there in streaming land. And hey everyone, hope all are well out there. I gotta remember to fix that because that's I keep forgetting. Anyways, welcome to another Talking Shit with me. I don't know. It just seems like the most appropriate thing to call this. So as I get myself situated, and it's been an active weekend for me as I've done some moving things around in not just here in the studio, or at least not having done it quite yet. But I'm putting up ceiling racks in the garage so that all the crap that's sitting in the third bay can be hung on the rack. 7 feet off the floor, and I can make space for the shop. So I don't know if I showed you this last time, but I put the ferrules in on the back for the strings, and I'm waiting for the tuners to arrive, and then I've got 2 GNL pickups that were taken out of my my GNL Telly, the one that I replaced with some really heavy magnet, high output Grandes. But the GNL Telly pickups are really nice. Anyways, they're a little cleaner and crisper. So I'm going to throw them in here. The control plate will come today, and I already have the volume pots, and we'll have I'll be getting the 4-position telly switch. So it'll be wired up as bridge, parallel, neck, and then the 2 in series. And with that wiring, you get this ridiculous, almost Brian May kind of singing tone. Very beautiful. Don't have to have seriously high power pickups to get that. In fact, I don't think the Burns pickups that he's got in there are particularly hot at all. I think it's just the combination of all the little wiring things that he's got with the series parallel arrangements. But with a Telecaster, being able to just use the neck and bridge in series gets you that sort of tie your mother down, big huge tone, especially when you use it with a Class A amp like a Vox or one of the boutique amps. So over the last few weeks, I've been sort of trying to figure out what I was going to do with this piece that I had put together live in front of you a few weeks ago, and so today I'm going to show off what I did when I don't have the stress of a camera pointed at me and I'm trying to come up with. I haven't fixed some of the existing guitar tracks yet, so like these big huge sort of tesseract ambient things are this one in particular spot right there is still kind of off time, but I'll fix that eventually. I did record a new guitar solo. I used the P90, this thing. There's too much crap in here. I used this thing. I was really looking for something brash, and so I pulled out this P90 equipped and totally fixed up. Vintage by Wilkinson, and in fact it says right on the back, and it's signed by Trev Wilkinson. Of course it's a stencil, but it's still, he's approved it. And he does make, Stu Mac have been carrying their line of guitar kits, and apparently they're fantastic, and I know that Dan Erlewine wouldn't be endorsing them if they weren't. So got that done, so that's here. Then I also approached this whole beginning part. So for any of you that are familiar, the original piece was is in 6/4 or 12/8, you know, either or. But 6/4 seems to match, like the drum pattern and everything. And the very beginning is in 4, and so I wanted to convey this sort of sense of a beginning and an ending of a beginning. And for those of you who remember, my father passed away passed away 3 weeks ago on Friday. So I wanted to sort of convey my sense of sadness and out of the song. So at the beginning, I found a heartbeat sample, put it in. Well, let's play it. Let's see what you think. All right. So I'm pretty happy with this piece right now. I want to some of the things that I tried to do, and I tried to do it with the synthesizer, was to have this, which I think I'm just gonna go look for a flatline EKG flatline sample. That's probably going to effectively give the convey the what that sort of ending of the heartbeat is. So, I mean, while the song's a bit of a downer, it's a celebration of life. So, in my time of mourning, is the lyrics are going to reflect memories and looking back on a life well lived. And the regret of not being able to share and ask questions, but in a good way, I guess, is because we as human beings, we get tired, I guess you could say, when things are too difficult, when you may not feel it when you're young, and even myself at the age of 56, I still feel vital. I still feel physically and in a real way. I still feel like I'm able to contribute and to make a difference. And so, whereas when you get past a certain age, it's not, the body starts to complain. And when the body starts complaining, when it gets past a certain point, your memory starts to fail, and your ability to function gets more difficult. So this is kind of in a musical way. This is very much in a musical way expressing it. So, no coincidence that, at least to me, it sounds a lot like a Pink Floyd track. So it just has that sort of, the groove is a little busier than what most Pink Floyd songs are, but that's my own touch on this. But the overall feeling is, I think, essentially been captured with this, in my view. So thanks Kai, for your very kind words. So like I said, I'm going to see if I can find I can even do that right now. Let's see if we can find. So why not do this live to air? Flatline. EKG sample. Audio sample. Let's see. That's long. God. Can we move this forward? I guess we can. Now. Do I have a login? I do. Sweet. So that's actually a pretty clean sound. There's no, obviously it says here, a hiss removed version. And it'll take about 45 seconds or so to download. We're streaming video and downloading stuff, and that takes time. And somebody here has kind of missed the whole point. Ben Boncan. Oh, nice. I like isotope stuff. So 3, 2, 1, 0. Show in folder. It's opened up on my other screen. So let us see if we can import audio file. No, it's not going to let us because I think it's already there. I'm just going to move this over. And let's see how this goes. Okay, so for one thing, it's really loud. Let's open up and we will this is already set up. And let's zoom in. There we go. Now, this should snap back to that. And we'll fade it out. Don't need like 2 minutes of and all right. So I've kind of said this before. I actually said this in Dave Kersner's live stream in the comments. Is that as I'm working on writing the music, I tend to do even like rough mixes. I keep them entirely in mind while I'm doing this stuff. It just it makes, when you compose with that idea, it's almost like doing a film score. If you know what the Foley is going to be, and you know, like, I just read an interview with interview that Anil Prasad did with Trevor Rabin, talking about film scoring. This was from way back in 2004. But to be frame locked and to be able to score your film knowing you have say 32 seconds plus 6 frames for your piece to make an impact in a transition, and not sound like abruptly cut off or sound like it's been dragged out. And so I very much come into this stuff if I have something in mind with an idea of how transitions happen. While I was listening, I even heard something that I thought would go in really nicely here. Let's find it. Not sure if it's going to be a little over dramatic, but it could turn out really nice as well. So kind of trial and error. I'm looking for No. Thinking of a choir, but I want to be able to like no. And then because I've already got a fairly large pad here with the Hexaract, I'm using this thing called Event Horizon, which kind of sounds very cathedral-like. And then I've got Iris 2 playing this Simple Clean, which is like it's a sine wave. It's a sine wave based synth sound. And finally, so the Iris is playing that sort of plucked string thing. The Hexaract has got the choral, like the big cathedral type sound. The Absinthe is playing the lead synth line. And I was thinking that it would be really cool to put in at the D major to add the D major to add 2. But I'm using the F sharp on the bass, so it's like F sharp / D major 2. And if you're playing it on a guitar, it's just essentially holding the G on the A, so the 5th of the D. Easier to show you. It's just essentially holding down these 2 strings and then adding, and I'm actually even extending it by adding the on the G string, I'm going from on the D string, I'm doing the F sharp up there. So, and then it allows the transition to the F major 7th to sound like I'm just descending on the low note. But because this is a choir and because it's a really thick and complex sound, so I want to be able to, I've got to leave room for the original, for the choral stuff. So I think I'm gonna rest on the. It's a 3-part. A, F sharp, D. And then I can descend. And I don't have to change the A on the bottom end at all. I can just. And then down to the C. To the D. C to the D, yeah. So let's try that, and I can mix it down a little bit so it's not as profoundly intrusive as it might sound right now. It's just got to be a layer, and because of the like almost like angelic choir coming in, signify that we're getting to the end. Okay. Remind myself of the. Two, three, four. And then up to the C. I'm going to clean that up a bit. All right. So let's take a look at the chord, because I definitely munged. Right there it is. There's the munge. I munged that. And we fix it. Now, so, I mean, stuff like this, where I'm coming in a little bit early, actually adds the human factor to a performance. I mean, it depends on how badly off it is. I mean, I'm coming in. I hate this. My corded mouse wasn't working with the monitor switcher. So let's say I go and I show you the resolution. So I'm fast. I'm fast on this guy. I might trim that back a bit. But you know, if a 16th note or a 32nd note is, or slightly longer than 32nd note, it's kind of okay. And then I'm also thinking in terms of the envelope of this patch. It's not like a piano where there's a percussive sound and it hits. So maybe subconsciously I got in there and in a little bit of a hurry and added that in. What I am going to do is I'm going to add some reverb to this. Now I can bring this down, and it just sits in the back, like very much in the distance. There's a lot of places in the rest of the material where I overdid the mellotrons, the organ, the mellotrons, a lot of the thicker pads. So this sounds pretty nice. In fact, it's sounding pretty okay overall, because you can see that the sum of these is close to equal. So let's get rid of the click and listen to it again. No, hang on. Very curious. So again, I mean, there's this artistic ability to be able to say, you know, we've got a stereo mix here. I can then do, so let's see, I'm going to, first off, I'm going to add the verb. We'll lower it. We will then go to the sends and level. So I've now created an automation track that is going to, so I've got this happening, and I can do this. Can make this go up, and then what'll happen is as the direct volume fades out, I'm bringing the reverb up. Now when I go to do mixing, I'm going to bring in different reverbs. Some of them are going to be like there'll be a large room reverb for stuff like this, and then there's going to be very specific, so there'll be delays for each of the instruments that maybe not on there already, and then there's going to be like a general room reverb or small hall reverb, because I really want, you know, I really want it to remain intimate. So even though we've got 4 keyboards here, there's a great ability, I think, to, like, for any keyboard player to be able to handle, I think, especially in my circumstance with the, if we were to ever play this live, I would be able to play the 2 big chords, the 2 big mellotron and the hex rack type sounds, or one of the arpeggiated sounds with one of the pad sounds, and then the keyboard player, dedicated keyboardist, would be able to play the other pair. You know, naturally you hope you're going to have multi-instrumentalists as part of your... I gotta sneeze. So, sorry. The so you hope to be able to have this ability to have everything covered live instead of having, you know, sequences. You can still do that. We've done it with we've done it in the past where we've got a repetitive arpeggio, and then we program the keyboard to just play the arpeggiated part, and that works out really well, especially if you've got, like Paul did a wonderful job on Mesmerize. Had the had two sounds. He had a piano playing the one arpeggio, and then was able to was holding it in the key that it was in, and was able to crossfade live on the synth, and from piano patch crossfaded over to the organ patch, which was a really key feature of the song on the album. And you know, when I did the mix and when I put it together, Paul really highlighted that as a really nice thing. So he definitely wanted to incorporate that in the live setting, and so we were able to do things. But I mean, if at all possible, especially if it's like for solos and things, you definitely want to play it live. So I'm sort of arranging with the idea of being able to play this live someday. Anyway, let's listen to this and see how it sounds. Oh, let's see, that didn't turn out the way I was hoping it would. I want it to be post fader. So that's pre and that's post. Let's try that again. It will sound different when we get it to so one. This is, I think, quite loud. So I'll just tweak that. It'll sound different once we get a new set of when we get the new effects put in. So, Prost, Alan. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. So, anyways, we've done a couple of tweaks here. I'm going to play this through again. I mean, there's a couple ideas that I had, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. So I think this is actually pretty good right now. I was thinking of going to the F sharp D, D sus2, and the F major 7th to use during as a like a nylon string guitar part or something to try and do the transition, because that's a pretty long break there, 4 bars, going from 92 to 96. But I've got a lot of motion happening here with the, as you can hear with that guitar part, which is just that is just the 12th fret harmonic on the guitar, but it takes on a whole otherworld quality as an ambient sort of chord when it goes through this beautiful patch on the Kemper. Then of course this I've got that palm sweep on the Hammond that fills it in. So, but let's go back and listen to it. I've kind of done a rudimentary mix here, and we could start. And then right now I can tell you there's vocals going to be sitting in. They're probably going to be some sort of vocals, whether it's doctors' voices, samples from doctors talking, or something in here. And then there's I'll have another thing I guess I should point out is this section seems like at first it felt like it was just something I wasn't quite sure I was going to do with. And then I stuck in this drum pattern. What I really wanted, like at the beginning it was like, oh well, I got to do something to lead into the piece. But that actually feels so dynamic, and especially when it's only with the guitar, with this ambient guitar, it feels really good. So what I want to do is I want to I'm gonna do stuff while I'm talking, but what I want to do is I want to be able to I want to put in like a really ripping drum solo type thing where it's playing, but it's really busy, and it's descending the toms, really bombastic, because that's the kind of emotional feeling that you get when somebody passes away. Your first instinct is extreme grief and just this shattering of your world. And I've really learned that there is, and I've talked to other people about it, and there's no, as much as you try and convince yourself that you're trying to prepare for the loss of your parents or a parent, over the years, and I've been, like, let's face it, my ever since my father had his heart attack and triple bypass surgery in '97, I've been kind of, sort of gritting my teeth, and we've been very lucky to be able to have him around for 23 years. Extend his life for 23 years, because it was a pretty nasty. That's a pretty nasty operation, open heart surgery and triple bypass, and it extended him from age of 68, 69 to where he passed away just a few weeks ago. So it's, like I said, it's earth-shattering when it actually happens. It shakes you up beneath your feet. So you feel like you're no longer standing. At least I've said that I feel off balance. It's like one of my pillars have disappeared. So, I can't imagine what it'd be like to lose a child or a sibling at this point. It's just something I can't imagine. So, and my mother's, fortunately, she's still around, and she's quite healthy. She'll be able to travel, and we're very happy to have her come and visit us. It'll be wonderful. But in the meantime, I'm working on this piece to sort of express those feelings. So, what I'm planning here is at some point, whoever I'm going to get to play drums on this piece, I'm going to say, look, I need you to just you know, throw everything in. The garbage can. Make it a highly emotional piece. I almost want to say it's like Flam City, like Phil Collins style. Just throwing in a bunch of really big toms, highly percussive. Even single-headed toms, and get that sort of idea of destruction out of there. But in the meantime, I've added this. I've added the Moog modular in, and I want to put in this underlying low E that's going to sit under the drums. And I'm going to give this a shot. Let's see. I'll set the click up. It's always difficult to really get a sense of what something's going to be like with the click on, but you need that click. Okay. All right, let's go back and listen to that. I also want to check that I probably came in early again. I always tend to jump the gun a bit. And I did. No biggie. I'll just trim that back to the... So I'm aligned to the grid. I'll trim it back to the there. And I'm playing this pretty hard and fast, 2-bar, alternating between the root, the tonic, and the fourth down, or the inversion of the fifth. So let's start with the flatline tone, and we'll go forward. I really want to get the tone of this together. And I'm really going to blast the low note here. I want your speakers to rattle. So I'm gonna go for it. There we go. So let's go back and listen to this from start to finish, and then I think we're going to call it a day because we're at 57th minute, 57 and a half. Let's listen to this whole thing start to finish. I'm really interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this at the end. All right. That actually sounds really good. Really good. I'm going to leave you with that. It is 5 minutes after the hour. 6 minutes after the hour. So, thank you for everybody that watched. Thank you, Kai. It will be completed in the next, probably couple weeks. No, couple 3 weeks. I have to get I have to find my real drummer. I have to get my I'm really pleased with the bass track that I recorded with this. It's pretty much did pretty good on this, I'll have to do vocals. I'll have to get some more samples, put this in. It'll be ready for the album release in October. And this is the track. This is the not the closing track on the album, but this is the last written track for the album. And so this will be done fairly quickly. And then that's about it. So I wanted to say, for everybody on Facebook, please come over to my Robert Svilpa music page and like it. If you could, follow me. Also, I have this guitar company that I'm trying to start. It's, very small. It's onesie twosies, and I want to. If you're a guitar player, I want to build you a guitar. I want to make you a really nice, solid guitar that I think that right now, when you go to Guitar Center or a lot of the big box stores, they just take it out of a box and hang it up, and it hasn't been set up. It hasn't had anything done to it, and oftentimes it's just crap. I know, because I've gone to those big box stores and I've done that, picked them up off the shelf, and and then you get places like my local guitar shop is Danville Guitars. This is where I got this guy, and beautiful. It's well set up. I still did some tweaking to it to make it really set up the way I like it, but but it was actually done right. But then you're paying $300-400 more because they're not getting the cut rate discounts the Guitar Center does. So and let's face it, a Paul Reed Smith's not a cheap instrument. So I mean, I want to be able to build you a really great quality instrument somewhere in between the price of, you know, a Squier or a Mexican Strat and the PRS I just showed you. So I've got this guy sitting right behind me here that I'm putting together. It's going to be a fantastic instrument, and I can build them fairly quickly. I've also been building other instruments, and I'm going to be building a new instrument. I just don't want to run over the cat because she went behind me here somewhere. Oh no, she's going over the sunlight. I'm going to start building my own instruments. I've kind of taken the body shape from a Warmoth guitar that I built. They have a really fantastic body shape called the Velocity, and but I kind of thought that it needed a bit more of a pronounced top horn. So I overlaid, I traced out the Velocity, and then put the PRS on top, and you can kind of see the PRS. Well, not really. Anyways, so what I did do is I traced the PRS horn and the contour, and then I did a compromise here. So I actually think this is a really nice body shape. I'm going to be cutting it out today. I will let you know if I still think it's a nice body shape. That's part of the effort that I'm putting into cleaning up the garage, is to be able to have my workshop there. And so, God, my foot is itchy. So I'm making space. I'll have my bandsaw, my jigsaw, a stand for my drill where I can put a drum sander, and I'll have everything all shaped out, and I've got a router, so I'll be able to route out the control cavities. And I haven't decided if it's just going to stay as a poplar, a solid poplar with a bolt-on neck, or if I'm going to put on a flame maple top on it yet or not. But you know, maybe for the first instrument that I actually cut from scratch, maybe I should be modest in my approach. So that's going to be the first instrument, and I think I'm going to use that. If I really like the shape, I'll use that. I'll have a template made for that, so I can go forward with it. And then, but I can build you these things, and it's going to be very reasonable. You're going to get a high quality instrument for relatively, well, a lot less money than what I paid for my Rick Turner. So, and not to say that I feel bad about that, but I know that not everybody's got that kind of dinero hanging around. So, so that's that. And then for anybody that's on Facebook, please follow and like my page. For you on YouTube, please like the video if you like it. Follow me and ring the dinger, ding-a-dingy, and let me know that you're out there, that you're watching, and I will see you next week. Hopefully, everybody's going to remain healthy and happy, and or at least as much as you can in confinement, solitary confinement, and we'll see you next week. So be safe, and I love you all.